That's a good crowd. You even let me finish moving the stool before you stop clapping. That doesn't happen often. The last two nights, the second I got to the stool, people were like, this could take a while. We're not clapping for this. Well, no. If it takes them 40 minutes, we're going to clap for 40 minutes. Look like him by the end of it. Oh, shut up. You're not good people. Don't get weird. You're like, I don't even know what he's talking about. We don't see cripple in Appleton. That's not what we do. I thought he was just a floating head and neck. That's all I see. These arms are the one thing I have in common with a woman with huge tits. Just people struggling to make eye contact. My eyes are up here, sir. Right here. Alright? How we doing, Appleton? Yeah, take that bucket list, nail it. I said it couldn't be done. Screw you, Dad. You're right. I'm pumped to be here. I've been coming to this club on for 15 years, everybody. This is cool. So good. I'm glad it's so good. I flew in on Thursday. Our first show Thursday, so I flew all day to get here on Thursday. When I fly, I like to fly Southwest. Ah, fuck you. You guys got money. I say all this. You don't need Southwest like I do. You're all fancy in Appleton. This is the Appleton elite right in the dress. Now, the reason I like to fly Southwest, they're getting rid of. So I'm going to have to find a new airline. Because literally, the only reason that I chose Southwest was the 2 free bags. But they're getting rid of that. But that's the only reason you would ever fly Southwest. It's not for the comfort. It's not for the hope you make it there alive. It's that they give you 2 free bags. And I love the 2 free bags, everybody, because I grew up in a trailer park. And I don't know if you're familiar with trailer people, but we love free shit. It's our favorite thing in the world. If you offer a trailer person something for free, we will say yes and then figure it out later. Because you don't want to live in regret. And I'm telling you, it does not matter what the scenario is, doesn't matter what the circumstances are. I could be living in a tiny studio apartment and I'm still going to be like, fuck yeah, I want that trampoline, awesome! Wow, you're just giving it away, free trampoline. It doesn't have legs, I don't have arms, that's my trampoline! It's my soulmate. Springs are rusty, I'll get a tetanus shot, that bitch is free. I am due. So I live in a house now. Yeah, bragging a little bit, I'll play that right now. I live in a house now, but the first 18 years of my life, I was trailer people. And just because you now live in a house doesn't mean that just goes away. Trailer living stays in your bones, in your malnourished bones. It messes with you once you get to out. Because like, look, if you've never lived in a trailer park, you might not know this, but the rules inside the trailer park are very different than the rules outside the trailer park. And it can be a hard transition once you get out. I'll give you an example, okay? So I was well into my 20s before I knew that you could buy a dog. I did not know that was a business. Because no one in the history of trailer parks has ever bought a dog. There's only 2 ways that you obtain a dog if you live in a trailer park. All right, so the first way is your neighbor's whore dog. who's not fixed because spaying your pet is not free, gets knocked up by some street tramp, and then a few weeks later your neighbor comes and knocks on your screen door and knocking it right off the hinges. You're paying for that shit, George. And George goes, "Hi! My dog just had puppies. You want one?" That's the first way. And then the second way you get a dog if you live in a trailer park is one day a dog shows up at your door. And now you have a fucking dog and a transaction. All it took, and you love that dog. And so 3 years later, your uncle comes to visit, who does not live in a trailer park, and lets you know that your dog is actually a possum. It still feels teeth. Let's talk about some things. There was more to what I was. How weird would it have been if I was like, let's talk about some same things, and I had nothing fucking planned for the next hour. I promise you I had more. 3 years ago I got married. Some of you genuinely surprised by that. That hurts my feelings a little bit. I like my wife. I don't want to sound too romantic up here, but my wife is okay. She'll do. She's not here, don't be nice. No, I think my wife and I have a cool story. It's a classic American love story. We got married for the very romantic reason that I now have health insurance. When you're in your 40s, that's the friends with benefits you want, everybody, right there. That's what you're looking for. This last 3 years, I've been getting things cleaned and removed, and I'm gonna live forever. I feel great right now. Like, I feel Canadian. Like, that's how good I feel. Now, I married my wife because she is a beautiful, intelligent, compassionate woman, and she married me for the parking. Which makes her sound like a bad person, I know. But we live in Southern California. Handicap parking's a reason to marry somebody there, alright? That shit's a perk. I have that on my Tinder profile. Get a lot more swipes right. For anyone who's curious, get this out of the way right now. I married a normie. That's right, I took one of your women, bitches. Like, yeah! I got one! And my wife, she has long arms. I mean, I'm talking arms that go like all the way to her pockets. You know what I mean? I'm saying. I was single for a while before I met my wife, and I didn't want to be single. I thought I was at that point in my life where I wanted to settle down, but it just wasn't working out for me at that time. And I had really good friends though, so they'd always try to like give me advice about what to do, you know? So like they're like, Ryan, look, if you don't want to be single, why don't you just date a woman with a disability? And I was like, oh, no. Because I can already not do shit. We can't have two people that can't do shit. Shit won't get done. Dishes are piling up in the sink. We're both naked because neither of us can dress ourselves properly. They're so great, why don't you fuck them? That's what I say. We're already parked right out front. What else am I going to get out of this? One dude laughing way too hard. I Thank you. You know her? Yeah, she's awesome. There's a little bit, I only mention it because there's like a discrepancy for how generally people will look at our attractiveness. Like I'm not saying that to be like down on myself. I'm funny for a reason. Like I know what I'm doing. I get it. But like my wife is so hot. I'll give you an example of like how it became problematic sometimes. Okay, so like when we first started dating, when we would go out to dinner, a lot of times the waiter would only talk to her because he would assume that she was out with her special needs brother. Like that's the kind of discrepancy I'm talking about here. And look, that's the right response. That's a shitty thing to do, but it happened a lot. It happened way more than it should have. And it hurts my feelings. I got a pretty thick skin. I do this for a living, but like that stuff sucks. You don't want to feel like that when you're out. But I'm not a complain to the manager type of person. So when that would happen, what I would do is I would shit on the floor. Right there, right where I stand. If you want special, I will give you special. Get a lot of free appetizers that way. You like that one so much that popcorn just fucking flew all over it. That's why you motherfuckers with hands scare me. You don't even know what you're doing with them. I wouldn't have done that. My hands don't reach that far. That popcorn would be safe right now. You and your wristwatch and shit. You're not going to over. You're a menace, sir. You're a menace. He knows. He's like, yep. I like my wife so much that 2 years ago we had our first baby. Thank you. The dick works. Who knew? Who knew? Who saw that coming? Not my wife. Everybody's gonna get that one. Got it? All right. Hold on. We had a boy. Which look, I know this is the cliche thing that you're supposed to say. But honestly, before we knew what we were having, I did not care if we were going to have a boy or a girl. The only thing I was concerned about was would my wife let me hold it. Oh, fuck off. None of you would let me hold your baby. Shut up. You're not better than my wife. How dare you? If I asked to hold your baby, you would panic. But he's not wearing his helmet yet. None of you will even let me carry the mashed potatoes to the Thanksgiving dinner table. Like, whoa, that is way too important of a side dish, Ryan. You take the napkins. We had a big boy, too. We had a big boy. 9 pounds, 8 ounces. Natural birth. My wife is my hero. Holy shit. I have never seen anything like that in my entire life. It was gnarly. Now, ladies, the next thing I'm about to say, I need you to understand that this is the old Ryan talking. I've changed my views on this since. But before we had our son, I never thought childbirth was easy. But I thought you ladies might have been milking it just a little bit. You hit me, it's a hate crime. That'd be special too. No, I thought you might have been milking it just a tiny bit. Until I watched my wife basically push my head on a fork out of her vagina. And now she wins every argument for the rest of our lives. I feel that is the only fair thing I could do. My wife was a superhero during the whole thing too. This wasn't how long my wife was in labor. No, my wife actively pushed for over 8 hours to get him out. I've been doing comedy right now for 15 minutes. I need a nap. Like, we're not the same. She is built different. She handled it so much better than me. That's like a sad thing to tell you right now. I wish I was telling the lie here, but it's not. She handled it so much better than me. Like, this is how much better she handled it than me. Halfway through pushing, my wife made me take a nap. Do you know how pathetic that is? I'm not proud of it. It's just what happened. I thought it was a trap. She said it, I was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, go lay down. You're pissing me off right now. Sorry I did this to you. Wake me up when something cool happens. A few hours later, something cool happened. My son was born. I'm not thank you. It'd be weird to be telling the story if he just was still in there right now. He's like 38 pounds, 4 ounces right now. He's chilling, he's comfortable. Now my son, after 8 hours of pushing, finally emerged. My son, he came out with the cone head. You seem to be familiar with the cone head. Some of you might not know what the cone head is. So in case anyone doesn't know, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do my best to explain the cone head. So that one day, if you have a child, and it comes out with the cone head, you won't be as surprised as I was. I feel this information would have been more helpful the night before. So sometimes your baby will come out with a cone head, and how our doctor tried to describe it to me is that during a natural birth, it's very dangerous for the baby if during the final descent it gets stuck down there because it's not getting the oxygen it's supposed to. So the human skull is sort of designed to make it easier for the Our doctor did not use those sound effects, by the way. That was me later. He's a professional. All of that makes sense to me now. I did not know this when it was happening. So my son, after a long battle, finally comes out. He has a cone head, and his cone, everybody, was over to the side. As if a strong breeze had come through the room. For you older folks, he looked like Gumby. He looked like Gumby. He had a Gumby-ass hand. He was covered in goo. All right, lads? Now, my first thought when I saw my sweet boy, I did not say out loud, because I enjoy living. But when I first saw my son and his cone-ass head, my first thought was, fuck, we got a broken one. What do we do? What's the move here? I grabbed my phone right away. My wife's like, are you texting your mom? I'm like, I'm definitely not looking up where the nearest fire station is. I'll tell you that much right now. How would I know? It's 0.8 miles away from this very hospital. Depending on the route. My son's head is normal now. I'm glad I didn't make any rash decisions. That would be very embarrassing for me. It turns out the treatment for the cone head is time. You just wait a week and try not to drop the fucker, and usually you're okay. My wife made me stay at a hotel for 1 week. She's smart. She has good motherly instincts. So good call. 9 pounds, 8 ounces, though. That's a big baby. That's a big baby. I'm proud, though. I'm proud. He did not beat me. He did not beat me. I was 10 pounds, 6 ounces. naturally. And that was without arms. I would have had arms, you would have cracked in half. All right, you're welcome, Mom. Trying to be a good dad, I'm doing my best. That's why I'm here in Appleton. Gotta make that money. My son is lazy as shit, won't get a job yet. Starting that early. No, I didn't have the best dad in the world myself, so I didn't have that role model to look up to, so I feel like I'm kind of just doing it on the fly. We're just figuring it out. I felt very unprepared going in, and I know any of you who are parents, you'll probably all agree with this. Like, you're never truly prepared. You can't be. You can read all the books in the world, it's nothing like being in the trenches. But I felt especially unprepared, and I think the reason for that is that I hate children. To be clear, your children. I love my son, but legally he's the only child I have to love, all right? I'm married into being an uncle. I'm still not sure. That's what I'm getting at, all right? You don't know them. Fuck you. No, I'm married into being an uncle. I have an 8-year-old nephew and a 5-year-old niece. They're all right. I like it. They're fine. No major red flags. We can hang out. It's cool. Here's the problem, though. I didn't realize this was going to happen going into being a parent myself. If your child has older cousins, you have to now play by the older cousin's rules on a lot of things. Because they've already established some of the groundwork of shit you gotta do now. Okay, I'll give you guys an example. Some of you are a little confused, but I'm trying to get out. Let me try to explain why this has been such a bummer for me. So my son is 2 years old now, but last year, for Christmas, he was still just a year and a half. And when they're a year and a half, you don't have to go all in on the lore of Christmas, because they're too young to understand it. Like at that age, basically all my son really liked, he liked the bright flashing lights and tearing wrapping paper to shreds. Like that is what Christmas is to a 1.5-year-old. So you don't got to go into the whole like spiel of everything, and that's fine. We did that, we decorated the house, it was fine. This year, he's 2, he kind of knows what's going on. He's excited this year to meet Ho-Ho. He calls Santa Ho-Ho, which is the greatest thing that will ever happen to me. If any of you try to correct him, I will fucking fight you. Alright, like, you'll easily win the fight, just put your hand on my forehead, let me swing out like a cartoon, but the spirit's willing, that's what I'm getting at. Ho-Ho is so fucking funny. I love that. So this year we're going to do the lore. We're going to get into it. But last year you don't got to do that. He didn't know what was going on. It was fine. But his cousins did. And that fucked us up. Because one day, our niece and nephew came over. We had the house decorated for Christmas. And my sweet nephew, he's looking around and he comes up to me at one point and he goes, "Hey, Uncle Ryan, where's Owen's elf?" By that response, some of you know what I'm talking about right now. What my nephew is referring to is something called Elf on the Shelf. And what Elf on the Shelf is if you have kids, a lot of people, what they'll do is you get this creepy little elf doll, and you put it in your house. And then every night, when your kids go to sleep, you're supposed to move that elf around to various other places in the house. Because this elf, he's a magic elf who likes to get into hijinks. And then your kid wakes up and it's like, what? Who eats Lucky Charms at 3 in the morning? The fucking elf does. Because he's a wild man. And you do that every single night for eternity. But we didn't have an elf because our son was 1.5 years old. He doesn't need the elf. But my becoming a major problem in his head because he thought all little children get the elf. So he's asking with some concern in his voice, like, Uncle Ryan, where's Owen's elf? And my instinct, what I wanted to say was, oh, he doesn't have an elf because that's stupid as shit. But I'm not a monster. All right, I'm not going to ruin his Christmas cheer, all right? The real world will destroy him soon enough. I'm going to let him have this whimsy. But I had to think fast, though, because we don't have an elf. I don't want to ruin Christmas for him. So I came up with some nonsense hoping it would work. It was like, you don't get your elf until you're 2. And he bought that. He seemed to buy it. Bought me some time. This year, my son is 2. And you know how kids are, they have the best fucking memory of any human beings on the planet. You think my nephew doesn't remember that I promised an elf? So now I gotta get an elf! But I think I have a way out of this. So here's what I'm planning, alright? So we're gonna get the elf. And the first night that we have the elf is going to hang himself. And when my son's like, oh, why did he do that? I'll be like, oh, remember last night when you didn't eat your peas? The elf hates that. Now eat your broccoli, you don't want to know what Rudolph will do. I'm a really good dad. People say being a parent's hard. This is easy. I'm not going to share it. And I still don't like kids. I don't. My son's cool. I like him. But I don't like kids. I just don't. I'm trying, but I don't. I just don't. They're my least favorite group of people on the planet. We should be deporting them. That's what I say. Come back when you're 18 and useful. I don't like kids, and I think the biggest reason I don't is that they're just mean. Kids are so mean. And look, I know some of you are probably saying adults are mean too, and I understand that adults are mean, but here's the difference. When an adult is mean to you, it's usually because they're hurting in some way, so they're lashing out at you. So I don't take that seriously. When an adult's mean to me, I just assume they're struggling, whatever. But when a kid's mean to you, they mean that from their fucking soul. Because they don't have that emotional baggage yet. They're just assholes. They're just mean. They're terrible. And like, the meanness is good because it's so honest. It's like a very truthful mean. Adults will just make shit up to try to hurt your feelings. Kids aren't that creative. Kids are just, they just tell you. Because they don't have that filter yet. They don't know they're not supposed to just say whatever they see. If the kid says you're ugly, guess what? You're fucking ugly. I don't know what to tell you, alright? Figure something out. Get a cool hat, learn to dance. I chose comedy, pick whatever you want, alright? Sky's the limit. I'm scared of kids. I'm scared of them. Because they can mean stuff. I'm not scared of any of you. I don't have a reason to be. You guys are awesome. This is a fun night. I'm having a good time. But I can also go into this because I know there's not a single thing any of you can say to me that's going to hurt my feelings. Because you're not creative enough. You're just not. Because adults have they have 2 things they'll say to me. I post videos on Instagram and shit like that. It's usually good responses, but people want to be dicks. They have 2 moves. They think they're clever. They think no one's ever said it before. They think it's going to hurt my feelings. It won't. You're going to do 2 things that are going to try to be mean to me. You're going to call me a T-Rex. Or you're going to talk about my strong hand. That's all you fucking got. That's all you got. Why would that bother me? These weird arms are buying me a house. I don't give a shit. What's that? Kids, though, it hurts for them. It's sincere. They're good at it, though. They're so efficient. I think that's probably why it hurts so much. Adults, we all do it. I'm guilty of this too. When I'm trying to really get to somebody, I talk too long. I'm trying to insult you, but I'm going to use too many adjectives that I don't know the meaning of. You've already left. It doesn't matter. Kids, though, right to the point. It's brilliant. The kid wants to insult you. Here's what they do. They run up on you. They instantly pinpoint whatever you're most self-conscious about. They scream that thing in your face. And then they're gone like ghosts. My son's already mean to me. He's mean. He scares me a little bit. It just comes so natural to him. So ready to be all, I'll try to explain it to you. If you're wondering, I'm sure some of you are, my son, he does not look like me. He's black. I don't know what my wife was up to. I just have some questions. I'm on the road a lot. That's my wife's favorite joke. Now, my son doesn't have my disability. He doesn't have my disability. He has the full set. I think that's what you guys call it. I'm not familiar with the lingo. If it was Pokemon, he has collected them all. Okay, he's completed his finger Pokedex. 4 of you have played Pokemon before. Thank you for that. That one's for me then. I don't give a shit. That one's mine. My son has all his fingers. He's real cocky about it. Which sounds insane. That sounds crazy because he's 2 years old. He doesn't know that daddy's different than him, but I swear he knows. He does things that make me think he's in on it. You're looking at me like I'm a crazy person right now, but you're not there. Here's the kind of stuff he does, right? Here's the kind of stuff he does to me, all right? So every time that I ask my son to hand me something, he always tries to put it in this hand. I don't have a grabber on this side. This side's my grabber. This side is for pointing. And poking. That's it. That's all he does. That's all he needs to do when he's good at it. You guys need to know where the bathroom is? Boom, right there. You know exactly where to go. But my son, every single time, I'll be like, can you bring that to me, buddy? I'll try to put it in this hand. It falls to the ground, obviously. And then when it hits the ground, my son will look up at me and go, uh-oh! You can't tell me that little fucker doesn't know what he's doing. It's diabolical. You think you're going to hurt me by calling me a dinosaur? I live with a tyrant. I love him, though. I love him. Guys, I think we're going to keep them. Let's start the dismount of the show, everybody. It's going to be graceful. None of you believe that? You are correct. Now I'm going to do the awkward part of the show right now. We're going to get this part out of the way. I'm going to do the awkward part, and that is the merch pitch. I hate doing the merch pitch. It's very weird and uncomfortable for me. I feel so like I'm a bad salesman. I feel guilty because you already bought tickets, you bought drinks. This guy wasted half a thing of popcorn already.
Well, you got
right, this dude has to buy merch then. The rest of you. You're all like, this guy's got popcorn money. He can just throw half it on the ground and boom, new bag. Who gives a shit? But I just always feel so uncomfortable because when you bought tickets, you bought popcorn. So you don't have to buy anything from me, okay? I told you I'm bad at this. I'm like, what, 40 seconds in and I'm already giving you an out. Like, that's not how you close. But even though it's uncomfortable for me, I'm still going to try to sell you something, and the reason for that is Crib Daddy needs diaper money. I might have underestimated how expensive babies are. When we got pregnant, I started doing a little research on baby supplies to kind of see what we were getting into. Well, when I got to diapers, I turned to my wife and I said, can we raise an outdoor baby? Just tie him up in the backyard, let him run around. Keep his dish filled with popcorn or whatever they eat. I did a little bit more research on that Appleton, and raising an outdoor baby is a crime. Learn from my mistakes. So I'm not going to raise an outdoor baby. I'm going to try to sell you something. Now, I used to have t-shirts. I don't currently have t-shirts. I haven't ordered any since my son was born because it is a pain in the ass to haul a large suitcase of t-shirts around the country when you look like a poorly constructed snowman. Don't get weird about it. I own mirrors too. That's why I'm glad I'm working in Wisconsin in September and not in the winter. I've worked here in the winter. It's terrifying for me. When it's in the winter, if I go outside and I stand still for too long, you're going to start trying to put top hats and scarves on me. What are you doing with that carrot? It's in my ass, sir. That's where it is. That's where you put it. I know the type. You're a dirty birdie. So I don't have t-shirts, but what I do have is stickers. I'm a grown man, I went with stickers. Because that's what happens when your parents let you get a theater degree. You become full of whimsy. That was jazz hands, by the way. That was. Took me 6 years and $100,000 worth of student loans to learn. I think it was worth it. That is true. That is true. I took out $100,000 in student loans to get a theater degree. That is a terrible idea. I had a lot of fun in college getting my theater degree, but that doesn't really set me up for success. I can tell you that much. Now, some of you are probably thinking $100,000, that's a lot of money for a theater degree. I bet you went to like a really top-tier theater school. Did you go to like Juilliard? No. Close, though. I got my theater degree from Indiana State University in Terre Haute, Indiana, the Mecca of entertainment. Indiana State is a bullshit school. You should not get a theater degree from there. I should have known right from the start it was a nonsense school based on their mascot. Anybody know what the mascot of Indiana State is? The Sycamores! Fighting trees! I have philosophy on college mascots, all right? If you're going to pick a mascot for your university, it needs to be something where hypothetically, if you encountered this thing in the wild, it would be a bad situation. So like the Wildcats, or the Rapists, you know, something scary. I don't want to meet either of those for now. Nobody's scared of the Sycamores. Maybe like the Northern Montana Unfortunate Lumberjacks. That's it though. $100,000. Get a theater degree. It's nonsense. Student loans for that. Horrible idea. Someone should have stopped me. Someone should, but I was 18. When you're 18, you're stupid. Nobody can tell you anything. You don't know it's a horrible idea to take out that much money for a theater degree. But you know who does know? The bank. Now look, I'm not a very political guy. I'm not smart enough to have strong opinions on things, but I'm going to tell you guys this. I hope we all can agree. Even if you don't necessarily believe in something like student loan forgiveness, hopefully you can agree that if you give somebody $100,000 in student loans to get a theater degree, you should be put to death with rocks. Because that's evil as shit. Remember, I'm 18 years old, I just graduated from high school, and everybody, I'm going to be a performer. Nobody's telling me otherwise. But I had to get student loans because I'm an old trailer park kid, and college ain't free. But I'm excited. So that summer, I skipped into the bank. I had a twinkle in my eye and a song in my heart. I burst through that bank door and said, because I don't know if you've ever met theater people before, but we're fucking annoying. We never turn it down. Doesn't matter what's going on. It's 2 a.m. at a Denny's. No one needs to hear Rent right now, theater nerds. Your waitress / cook, who's the only person working tonight, does not get paid enough for this. Just order your waters you're not going to tip on and shut the fuck up. How can we help you? I'm here to obtain a student loan. They're like, okay, we can help you out with that. What are you going to be studying? I'm going to get a degree in pretend. And nobody stop me! And now what? I don't care if they do forgive student loans. Doesn't matter to me. I've already paid off my student loans. My student loans are completely paid off. I'm in zero debt for student loans. Thank you. Thank you. It's very sweet of you, but that response right there should show everyone just how bullshit student loans are. Because telling you I paid off my student loans should not have gotten my loudest round of applause of the night. When someone tells you they've paid off a loan, the response would be, of course you did, dumbass. That's what you're supposed to do. But when it's a student loan, people are like, fuck, are you a wizard? What did you do? You got a large sack with a dollar sign on it? Did you kill a guy? I'll kill a guy. I have a little secret for how I paid off my student loans. I'll share it with you guys in case it'll be helpful for anyone here. The way I paid off my student loans is I got 3rd place on America's Got Talent. That's what I did. Pretty easy, you guys should try it, it's great. Now look, I'm not going to downplay this, I'm proud of myself. I worked really hard. I worked for like 15 years to put myself in a position where I could get 3rd place on America's Got Talent. But that is not a financial plan. When I was 18 years old to sign up for that loan, I wasn't like, it's no big deal. In 20 years, some British fuck will think I'm funny. Go to a trade school, become an electrician or something, somebody useful. So what I'm trying to say is, I have stickers. The longest merch pitch ever. So I got the stickers right here. I know they're room sort of big, so if you can't tell exactly what it is, I'll explain it, okay? So the first sticker is my logo. It's the Cripple Threat logo. You can't tell what it is the Jurassic Park logo. But with this as the dinosaur. Because it's the only shadow puppet I know how to do. Look at that guy. Na 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 na. That's the first one. And the second one, when I was on AGT, I did a lot of pro wrestling kind of theming to my performances on there. I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. That's where the Cripple Threat name came from. It's going to be my wrestling name. That's the truth. I'm just saying that to try to get laid, ladies. I mean it. I actually wanted to be a pro wrestler. Didn't work out. But I still love pro wrestling, so like when I was on the show, when I got to the live shows, I kind of wanted to do some more wrestling stuff. And one of those things I thought of is I wanted to give my fan base a nickname. Because that's a very pro wrestling thing to do. Like for instance, Hulk Hogan had Hulkamaniacs, exactly. So I wanted something like that for my fans, so what I went with was Club Nub. Club Nub sticker here. Now, if you already have a limb difference, you are obviously already in the club. You don't need to buy a sticker. I'll see you at the meeting. But if you don't have a limb difference, but you still want to join the club, get a sticker, because it's much easier than having the horrible Thresher accident. That never works in this part of the country. I don't know why I tried. Because when you're in farming areas, at least everybody here has a cousin who fell in a fucking Thresher. And you should know this, I grew up in a town called Wheatfield. Now here's the sticker. It's the Club Nub sticker right there. Very low pressure on the stickers, everybody. I sell them for donations. So whatever amount you think is fair for a sticker, guess what? You nailed it. I'm proud of you. As long as it's above $0, enjoy your new sticker. If you don't want to buy a sticker, totally fine. Not a requirement for me to like you. A couple other ways you can support. A couple years ago, I released my first comedy special. Very proud of it. It is available for purchase or rent on Amazon Prime, or if you're cheap and you don't mind watching ads, it's free on Tubi. My trailer park ass, watch it on Tubi. I'm not paying for my own special. That's insanity. The special is called Unarmed and Dangerous. It's all different material than you heard tonight, so if you like what you're hearing tonight, you're going to like the special. If you don't like what you're hearing tonight, well, go fuck yourself. This is hard. I'm doing my best in Appleton, Wisconsin. For crowds that are always filled with cheese. And I know that because I am filled with cheese right now. I do not live here, that's all I do. And even if you don't like what I'm doing, you should support me anyway. Because it will prevent me from getting a real job. Sometimes people will say that. If they don't think you're funny, they'll be like, why didn't you get a real job? You don't want that. I'll be like, fine, I'll quit comedy. You want me to fix your brakes? You want me to fix your brakes? You never make you comfortable? I'll get that appendix out for you. You trust me to do that? I'll just tell my little dick jokes and we'll move on. And the last way you can support, follow me on social media. That matters. It really does. What comedy is in 2025. It's just tricking robots. And just showing my little videos to like the one person who will like them and buy a ticket. And the 1,000 people who will call you a fat T-Rex. So help me get called a fat T-Rex more by strangers. I love that. I'm on everything at Cripple Threat 8. That's the number 8. Because clearly there were 7 Cripple Threats before me. but I have risen to power. I am their leader now. Let's do one more. And then I just realized that I have mac and cheese waiting for me back there. I was not lying about how much cheese I'm filled with right now. I'm nuts. Made a few jokes earlier, but I want to make it clear. I love being a dad. It's my favorite thing in the world. Like, having my son is the greatest thing I will ever accomplish in my life. It's great. Nothing will ever top being his dad. And I'm friends with Terry Crews, so you know I mean this. My son hasn't flexed his tits at me once. Not one time. I still like him better than Terry. People will ask you a lot of times, if they don't have kids, they'll ask you this and they'll be like, well, what's your favorite part about being a parent? And that's like a really hard thing to say. That's like a hard thing to like get down to one point. There's a lot of stuff I like about being a parent, you know. But if you made me pick one, my favorite part about being a dad is I now have proof that I've had sex. At least once. Who's unfuckable now, every girl I went to college with? And I just mind picked him for all to see. I like sex.
Me too.
Was that an offer? All right. Now, I like sex. I know that's, I'm the first comic that's ever said that. It's very new. I'm breaking new ground in comedy by saying I like sex. No one's ever talked about it. Do not look it up. It might be weird for some of you, though, to hear someone with a disability being so open about enjoying sex, because generally that's not how we're treated. Society does not treat people with disabilities like they're sexual beings. That's not our role. Our role to society is to inspire able-bodied people to get their shit together. Are you guys inspired right now? That's very inspiring stuff. There's a term for it. It's called inspiration porn. And that is real. You can look it up. Maybe not at work. I can't promise other things won't sneak into that search. But what inspiration porn is when people will take someone with a disability and declare them as being inspirational for doing things that if an able-bodied person did the exact same thing, it would not be inspirational. Like, my whole life is peppered with people being like, well, if you can do it, Ryan, fuck you. People with disabilities, we're not different. We're not that different. There's a lot more similarities. Like I said, we enjoy sex just as much as other people can. Now, I'll be honest, we don't always have it as often as able-bodied people. I can admit that. Because a lot of times for us to have sex, it involves like a pulley system and a spotter. That feels like a lot of work. Like, do I really want to get a mechanical engineering degree to get my dick wet once? Like, that feels... I just barely paid off the theater degree. Take out more student loans. Have to go back on America's Got Talent. But they don't let you go back on the show and do the exact same talent. So I'll have to do something else. Like magic. Learn magic, but the only magic I'll do is sleight of hand magic. Again, that one's for me. You didn't give it enough credit. But I like sex. I'm a huge fan of sex, and my wife, she's powering through. She knows I'm doing my best, and giving it my all. I'm not naturally good at it. I can be honest enough with you guys. I'm not naturally good at sex. That shouldn't surprise anyone in here. Not one person in here saw me walk on this stage and was like, I bet that guy fucks like a jackhammer. I'm like, but I don't want to make this sound like I'm uncaring though. Like, I don't want my wife wife to enjoy herself. That's the furthest thing from the truth. I think if you're in an intimate relationship, all parties involved should enjoy themselves. I think that's just common sense. So I want my wife to have a good time, but look, I know I'm not going to naturally give her the business. Probably because I use phrases like give her the business. Neither here nor there. But since I'm not naturally good at it, what I do for my wife is I take requests. I think that's super simple. I think all guys should do that, all right? If you're ever a little nervous about your performance in the bedroom, just do what I do. Ask her what she wants. You listen. The listening part is very important to this. You can't just ask what she wants and then just keep... You gotta take that in. After you listen, you try to do those things. And here's where it's amazing. Even if you're not good at those things, she will be so touched that you even made the effort that you'll get weird birthday stuff. I had a really good May. So I take requests from my wife. I try to do the things she wants me to do. No, I can't do everything she wants me to do, but she wants me to choke her, and that's not going to happen. Choke me, Ryan. Like, I have been. I'm actively doing it right now. Choke me, Ryan. Well, here's 5 crackers and no water. Did that get a trick? Was that the cheese spot? Yay! All right, I'm happy to know you guys. Thank you all so much.